Did I just do that? That's funny. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this video. I'm the 5-String Fury and we're back in my home studio. Now, one of the things I want to talk about this week is how the MPC One has kind of changed my musical setup. Effectively, it's become the centerpiece. I used to be, well, I don't say I used to be. I still am. I still like my Ableton Live. I still like my Ableton Push 2. I really do enjoy that workflow and being able to really dig in and manipulate my songs and my music. But the MPC has changed that in that it's right there kind of set up. It has become kind of the centerpiece of my studio setup. I kind of got it for the idea of being able to walk away from the studio and move to other places and kind of make music on the go some. And I was looking for ways to do that. I guess with the new update, the .10 update, the 2.10 update, adding the ability to use an audio interface very shortly after I first got the MPC One really kind of changed the way it worked out. So, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour of how I'm using it. The Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, and I plugged that in through a little USB hub and right into the MPC One. At my Yamaha, my old Yamaha plugged in both with MIDI into the MPC One, but also with an audio feed going into the Focusrite. I then have my bass going into my little Fender bass amp, and I'm running that into the other input of my 2i2 so that I can kind of get a little bit of a modeled effect. The way I have this set up, I can hit one switch and basically get to the keys and the bass at the same time. They power up. I can just quickly play and set it down however you want to go about it. The reason I have that setup in place is really just to remove any friction from me just being able to sit down and play. I really like being able to just come into my studio, into my office, and at a moment's notice be playing something. And that is very important to me. I don't want any friction here, so I keep my basses out of the cases, on the stand. I can just grab a bass, the cable's already plugged into the amp, I can plug it in, flip one switch, it powers up, and then I'm off to the races. I like being able to do that with the keys. Just puts me right immediately with one flip of a switch to making music. Now, let's bring the MPC in. Since I have the audio interface set up already, I turn on the MPC, and if it's already been plugged in, or even with a few quick commands in the menu, I can have it pull right from the audio interface. So I can actually turn on the MPC One, hit an empty project, switch over to an audio tab, pick my input, and play directly from my bass into the MPC One. Very, very quickly, I can be recording. I can do it with the keys, and since I have the keys set up as a MIDI input as well, I can use some of the sounds that are already built into the MPC One, and what I'll do is just turn the volume down on my Yamaha so that it won't come through the normal speakers that I have set up for it, and I can use the same key bed to do the MIDI input right away. So right away, this new groove box thing has become the center of some of the quickest jams I've been able to put together, and that is game changing. That is game changing. With the Ableton setup, I could do the same setup. I could record from my bass, I could record from the Yamaha, and I could record through the interface. But I had to connect my MacBook, I had to open Ableton, I had a preset template that would automatically load up a project file that had the audio interface set up to receive the input from the MIDI, and then also set up to receive the audio from the MIDI device so I could record the piano or the keyboard directly into Ableton. But I had to go through a lot of setup and twist to get that going. And once I had that in place, then it was very quickly, but then again, there was always I had to get my MacBook, I had to turn my MacBook on, I had to get it in place, I had to plug it in. There was always just a little bit of resistance. And so it was never as fast. And I don't know, maybe there's some things I can do to make that a little bit faster, transitioning from whatever I was doing with my MacBook to making music. There was always just a little bit of a lag time, where this has become a really, really instant gratification. Is that a word? Can I say that? It's very instant, very fast for me to get to the point where I'm making music. There is very little friction between me and actually having an idea and at least recording a rough sketch of it and saving it to the SD card inside the MPC One, where I could then take that later and maybe I can manipulate it in Ableton, maybe I can use it as a sample in some other project. But the ability to just go, record, have it, put the bass down, and then hit save and walk away is game changer. Game changer. So yeah, I don't know. I guess if I'm making a series, or if there's anything to take away from this, is find a way to reduce that friction in your workflow. If whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do, make it easy to do it. And I think you'll just get a little bit more enjoyment, and have fun with it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Enjoy making music, have some good times. If you've got some tips or some things that you do to speed up your workflow, why don't you leave those in the comments? Let me know, shoot me a note. Thanks for checking out these videos. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.